Good day, this is News Compact, reaching you from Olusola Television. I am Olusola Iyanuoluwa. First headlines. PDP leadership crisis deepens ahead of 2027 general elections. India and other countries reject Tinubu's envoys over tenure policy. Dangote Refinery assures Nigerians of steady fuel supply amid global market volatility. Tension rise on global economy as US-Israel-Iran war hits day 12. Now the news in details. The People's Democratic Party is facing intensified internal conflict following key court rulings and factional battles. On Monday, March 9, 2026, the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal delivered a crucial judgment concerning the party's long-running leadership dispute. The judgment stated that constitutional and legal procedures were not properly followed and barred the Independent National Electoral Commission from recognizing the outcomes of that convention. The ruling nullified the faction led by Kabiru Turaki. In response, the Turaki faction announced plans to appeal to the Supreme Court, insisting the party must remain active for the 2027 general elections. Following the judgment, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, speaking on March 10, 2026, described the situation as a challenging period for both the party and Nigeria's democracy. He highlighted the defection of key members, including Zamfara State Governor Olawale to the ruling APC, noting that only 2 PDP governors remain in office, himself and Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State. Makinde called on leaders to act responsibly and prioritize unity.
We want to play as individuals and collectively as a party. We must be conscious of what history is going to record against or for us.
The acting chairman of the National Caretaker Working Committee, Abdurrahman Mohammed, welcomed the ruling as a victory for the rule of law, insisting that his committee remains the legitimate leadership of the party.
Opportunity to appreciate our legal teams, leaders, party members, and supporters for their encouragement and guidance and prayers. I want to make it clear at this time that the National Caretaker Working Committee remains the only national leadership recognized by the law and the party. The National Caretaker Working Committee is the only legitimate body that can present a candidate in the build-up to 2027 general elections. As such, I urge all stakeholders, party leaders, party members, and supporters to rally around the National Caretaker Working Committee as we prepare to approach activities towards the 2027 general election.
The crisis has deepened with rival factions within the Board of Trustees holding separate meetings in Abuja. A faction loyal to the FCT minister scheduled a Board of Trustees meeting on March 11, 2026, signaling ongoing divisions over party leadership and strategy. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's recent ambassadorial nomination are facing diplomatic challenges abroad. On Friday, March 6, 2026, President Tinubu approved the posting of 65 ambassadors and high commissioners to various countries and international organizations. Among them were former Minister of Aviation Femi Fani-Kayode to Germany, former presidential aide Reno Omokri to Mexico, and former Katsina State Governor Abdurrahman Dabazwal to China. By March 11, 2026, India formally communicated its refusal to grant agreement, the formal acceptance required for the ambassadors to assume duty. Sources say the rejection is based not on the nominees themselves, but on India's policy of not accepting envoys from governments with less than 2 years remaining in office. Officials indicate that other countries may follow similar procedures, citing concerns that ambassadors may not remain long enough to provide stable diplomatic engagement. So far, only a few reconfirmations have been secured. the United Kingdom has granted agreement to High Commissioner designate Aminu Dahatu, while France approved Ambassador Ayodele Oke. The majority of the nominated envoys remain in diplomatic limbo. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring a reliable fuel supply for Nigerians despite disruptions in the global oil market. In early March 2026, refinery officials highlighted the impact of rising crude prices and geopolitical tensions in the Middle East on global fuel supply. They warned that these factors could create shortage in countries dependent on imported refined products. The managing director, David Bird, stated that Nigeria's domestic refinery capacity positions the country to avoid shortage. He assured that the refinery will continue to meet the nation's petrol demand, cautioning consumers from extreme price spikes experienced in other markets.
The pricing is a discussion for government as a crude producer, but as an independent domestic refining industry, we will continue to ensure our operational continuity, and we will prioritize domestic supply and continue to ensure that Nigeria enjoys what it has enjoyed only for the last 18 months, 2 years, and that is fuel abundance and not fuel scarcity.
As of March 10, petrol is priced at 1,075 naira per litre and diesel at 1,430 naira per litre. Analysts say the refinery's work stabilizes Nigeria's fuel market and protects consumers. Students of the College of Nursing at Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital in Nnewi, Anambra State staged a protest on Tuesday, March 10, 2026 against a steep increase in tuition fees. The students said the hike, which raised from 90,000 naira to 580,000 naira, was excessive and burdensome amid current economic conditions. They marched within the campus and at the main gate, chanting slogans and carrying placards expressing their dissatisfaction. The fee increase followed an internal memo dated January 23, 2026, issued by the chairman of the board of NAUTH College of Nursing. The memo stated that the revision was intended to support institutional upgrades, cover rising operational costs, and align with current economic realities. Students, however, criticized the scale of the increase, describing it as unfair. A video footage and social media posts showed nursing students carrying banners and chanting slogans such as "We no go gree," "Reduce the school fees," "We no go gree," while some placards highlighted the jump from 90,000 naira to 580,000 naira. The student union government said the protest was unauthorized by the union leadership, but confirmed that the union is engaging school management to address the issue. Union leaders urged peaceful dialogue and negotiation rather than disruption. NAUTH management responded by pledging to meet with board members and union leaders to resolve the disagreement. Officials said the fee proposal was approved to maintain standards and insisted that even with the revision, the nursing school remains among the lowest in the region. Management confirmed readiness to review the increment through discussion. Students argued that the hike places a heavy financial burden on them and their families, pointing out that additional costs such as accommodation and feeding push total annual expenses above 1 million naira. They called on the institution to reconsider the fees and adopt a more reasonable approach. And on international news, tensions in the Gulf continue as the US-Israel war with Iran enters day 12. The US-Israel conflict with Iran has entered its 12th day. Iran has launched missiles and drones across the Gulf, including strikes on a US base in Kuwait. Explosions were reported in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain, where attacks wounded dozens, including children, and caused fire at oil facility. The United Arab Emirates also intercepted incoming missiles and drones near Dubai International Airport, where a container vessel caught fire in the Strait of Hormuz, raising global energy concerns. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed 4 missiles targeted U.S. forces in the Middle East, including Camp Arifjan in Kuwait. Local authorities report that multiple drones were intercepted across the Gulf, including Saudi Arabia's Sheba oil field. Amin Nasser, CEO of Saudi Aramco, warned that continued disruption in the Strait could seriously impact the global economy. The United Nations Security Council is set to vote on a resolution demanding Iran halt attacks on its Arab neighbors. That will be all on News Compact for today. For more updates, visit our website at www.rulersworldtelevision.com. Do visit our social media handle, RulersWorld and do follow us on all our social media pages, X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all at Olusola Television. Once again, I'm Olusola Iyanuoluwa. Thanks for watching.